It's coming! Look at this massive elephant! This buffalo is totally staring at us. Can you believe that? We are standing right in the herd! All of this and more in our new video. Our visit in Amboseli National Park. After beautiful days in Uganda, we finally arrived in Kenya. But before we set off on our incredible safari in Amboseli National Park, let's take a look back to Uganda once again. We had already been traveling for 2 hours before we crossed the Jinja Nile Bridge. This was the first time we had seen the Nile. It was a huge trip that we had ahead of us. It's about an 18-hour drive from Kampala to Nairobi, no matter what Google Maps says. By the way, if you like our videos, we would be happy if you subscribe and like, because that helps us to make videos like this for you. Thank you very much. At the equator line in Kenya, we were greeted by a few sheep. The journey was really exhausting, the bumpy roads, the many cars, and the difficult-to-see paths. But anyways, everything went well, even on the border. It took us only 1 hour. We reached our hotel in Nairobi after 18 hours. We felt like we had spent days on a cruise ship. Our bodies first had to get used to not sitting in the car again. The hotel itself was really nice. Although there was no air conditioning in the room, the hotel facilities were really outstanding. Follow me, I'll show you what it looks like here. Let's first take a look at what the breakfast area looks like. On the right, you can see many seats. Here you can have the a la carte breakfast. They even have their own pizza oven. And let me tell you, the pizzas are fantastic. There is also a bar for cocktails, but the best part was definitely the garden area. Very cozy and perfect for relaxing after a safari. And of course, there is also a pool. We had to get up early the next day. 5 a.m. was departure time. The drive to Amboseli really did take much longer than we thought. We were on the road for a total of 3 hours and 45 minutes. The sun was slowly rising, and we could finally enjoy the landscape a little. However, our driver and guide first made us wait at a souvenir store. To be honest, we would have much rather spent this time in Amboseli. So let's speed this up. We still had an hour to go, but this was definitely the most exciting. The view of Mount Kilimanjaro alone was incredible. Kilimanjaro is the highest peak on the African continent and rises to an impressive 5,895 meters above sea level. After a journey that felt like an eternity, we were finally here. Welcome to Amboseli National Park. A note for all iPhone owners. We could only buy tickets with an Android phone. So keep that in mind if you come here for a visit. We had a quick look at the map, and then we were finally ready to go. So let me explain how to win the game drive. To win, you have to discover the following animals: the buffalo, the lion, the elephant, the leopard, and the rhino. Bad news, no rhinos here. So in Amboseli National Park, you can win the game drive with seeing only 4 of these animals. For the first few minutes, we could hardly spot any animals, but then a wildebeest surprised us. Wildebeest, also called gnu, are antelopes of the genus Conochaetes and native to eastern and southern Africa. Take a look at the clear view of Kilimanjaro. Isn't that brilliant? Our game drive score was still at 0, and we were even a little disappointed for a moment. We had to slowly step on the gas, and then we got lucky. A herd of elephants, and we got closer and closer to them. Even from a great distance, we could see that the herd even included some baby elephants. Special care must be taken here, as the adult elephants are very protective of their young. The pictures we were able to take here were incredible. The elephants right in front of Kilimanjaro with the clearest view imaginable. It's coming! Look at this massive elephant! You can't imagine how wonderful it is to be able to observe these animals so closely. The size and power of the elephants is really impressive. Undeterred by all the vehicles, the herd made its way through the huge grounds, and suddenly we were right in the middle of it all, and even caught a moment when a baby elephant was briefly on the move without supervision. Take a look at how he checks whether the adults are following him. Of course, the adults were quickly back on the spot, and it almost looks as if they are telling the baby to hurry up. The herd stopped right in front of our car, and we could watch the baby elephants playing with each other. Oh, look at them. They are really cute, aren't they? Can you believe that? We are standing right in the herd. More and more elephants arrived, and we could hardly believe our eyes. We were excited, respectful, and also a little scared in the middle of the herd. We could have spent hours here watching the elephants, but we had to see more animals to win this game drive too. Nevertheless, we had to stop briefly to say goodbye to the herd. Just take a look at how many elephants there are. What a great experience. The almost 4-hour drive was worth it for that alone. But of course, we wanted more. Our guide came up with the idea of driving towards Lake Amboseli. There are lots of hippos around here, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a few buffalo. What we saw first, however, was a huge number of flamingos. At this point, we will save ourselves the trouble of counting the animals. But our guide turned out to be right. The first hippo was also found here. Unfortunately, it was very far away, but on closer inspection, you could even see that some of these animals were just enjoying the sun here. More hippos were already around the corner, eating. It always looks funny how birds take a seat on them. Speaking of birds, the crowned crane, national bird of Uganda, was also here for a visit. It was already around lunchtime. Our game drive score was still at 1. Nevertheless, it was time for a break at Observation Hill. But we didn't get there as quickly as we'd hoped, because we were already expected. That was pretty scary. Look at how the elephants stared at us. Now we have arrived at Observation Hill, unfortunately in the midday sun. The hike is not particularly strenuous, but let's fast forward a little. You are also supposed to be able to see excellent sunrises and sunsets here. But sorry, we were unable to check this out for you. Looks like a good run, huh? Can you see how the view of Kilimanjaro is getting worse? Once at the top, you can expect lots of information material and a fantastic view. The hill is considered a sacred place, and visitors can meet Maasai guides or rangers who share their traditional knowledge and stories about the land. I sadly found no one to ask about the culture. Observation Hill is also an ideal spot for wildlife viewing. Visitors can use binoculars or cameras to observe animals in the distance. Let's see what we can find. Oh, look, a hippo over there. By the way, the hilltop also offers an excellent opportunity for bird watching, as numerous bird species hover above it. From the other side of the hill, you have another great view from which you can see how gigantic this park is. You can see the parking lot down there. We have to go back there now so that we still have a chance of winning our game drive. Back in the car, we got the chance to score. A group of lions came up together near a bush. Awesome! Now only 2 are missing. In addition to the lions, we also saw a group of zebras, but they were too far away to take good photos. A problem we often had in Amboseli National Park. Our guide then took us to Amboseli Lodge. Unfortunately, this place was badly destroyed by a flood and is currently being restored piece by piece. Sadly, the whole thing will probably take even longer. You can still see the masses of water, even though it hasn't rained here for several days. Shortly after Amboseli Lodge, we were able to score again. A small herd of buffalo was sunbathing next to the flamingos. Then it went on step by step. We found a small group of southern vervet monkeys in a tree. I could really watch them all day. Funny animals. It was time to leave the national park, but we had another chance to see a huge herd of buffalo. However, one of the animals took aim at us quite clearly. This buffalo is totally staring at us. I'm just kidding, it stared at us, but it didn't seem dangerous. But never underestimate this situation, because the buffalo is not called Black Death for nothing. So guys, it's time for the final score. There were no leopards to see for us today. I hope you had fun watching anyway. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're interested in our game drive in Queen Elizabeth National Park in Uganda, check out the video above.